what a delay. I am so sorry about that. But to everyone who was waiting for us to start, you are going to be rewarded greatly for this.
Very much
Just to
so.
confirm, if you're watching this from YouTube, please just give me something. Give me a comment, give me a thumbs up, give me a yes, I'm watching on YouTube, give me a something. But otherwise, we are here and we are live, and it's lovely to have you all. I'm just going to ask us before we start to just comment in where are you watching this from? Because I know for a fact that we have people that are all over the world that have been excited to watch this. So just type in the chat, where are you calling from? Where are you watching this live from? And
Yeah, and we're
also,
very excited
can I
to
get a
present you.
confirmation for the YouTube?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to get a confirmation for the YouTube. Yeah.
Our people are growing. I
All
can
right,
see
all
in the
right.
audience we have 8 people.
Yeah,
So
we have an audience. We're finally on. Thank you so much to everyone who has entered. Please chat us. Tell us, where are you watching from? Are you watching from your bedroom? Are you watching from an Uber? Are you in a taxi right now going somewhere? Where are you from? Location. We are currently in Johannesburg, South Africa, the headquarters of Melsoft Academy, and today might be one of the most exciting days that we have today. I mean, I can't explain it. We're launching a new boot camp, and
yeah,
I'm gonna start us off. Alexis says they're watching from Cape Town, South Africa. That's amazing. That's really good. Beautiful Table Mountain down there, and that's really good. That's really good. More
we have
more in the
Tabile
chat.
who's
Come
watching
on.
from Boxburg as well.
Boxburg as well. Hey,
Boxburg.
we've made it. We've made it. Tavile is in Boxburg. That's lovely. Come on, more people in the chat. I see everyone who's here. Well, don't be shy to text us something. Come on. And for the people who are watching on YouTube, I'm not sure if YouTube is running it. No one's given me a notification on that, but I think it's safe to say that we can start. We have 8 people who are hungry for this knowledge,
We are 8 dedicated
and
people.
and we
Yeah.
have 18 people waiting on YouTube. I think if someone can send them a link to come to Riverside, that would be great. That's why, actually, that's a smart idea. I'm gonna do that.
There's a
I'm gonna
question here
copy the link.
by Alexis asking if YouTube is still running. I'm not sure.
Because I don't think the YouTube is running. I
Yeah.
don't see that the YouTube is running.
All right.
Let
I
me
guess they
let me
must spam
send
everyone to
people.
come here.
Yeah, let me send them a link on YouTube to say please join using this link. Yeah, there we go. That's been done. I love my
Awesome,
team. My team
awesome,
is
awesome,
amazing.
awesome.
All
So we'll
right,
give them
let's do it.
a minute to start
To
joining.
just come
Yeah,
in. Okay, yeah, okay.
yeah. So
Give
we're
him a
going to be
minute.
kicking off careers today. Careers in a industry that people don't actually know about. They hear about it in the corners, but they don't know that this is actually a very, very lucrative industry, a very industry that is in demand. And yeah, this is going to be the one you're gonna wanna stay for.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. All right, yeah, let's do it. Okay, so I'm gonna introduce Mr. Phila here. Welcome, Mr. Phila. Thank you so much for having us. Mr. Phila here is an expert in UI UX design. He is currently at Mpilo Tech, which is one of the leading tech companies here in South Africa, and he's collaborating with Melsoft Academy. I cannot stress how important this man is for both organizations, and he's done a lot. He's won a lot of accolades already in the tech space, and he's just that one person who has a drive and a desire to share his knowledge and education to everyone who is there, and I think that's really really good. So welcome, Mr. Phila. Thank you so much for having us. I'm very excited for this, and the floor is yours. Please take us away.
Yeah, thank you, Loris. So today we just wanna emphasize the importance of finding industries and specializing in skills that a lot of people don't know about and a lot of people are not in. So UI and UX is one of those places. Everybody thinks that it is for people who go to art school, people who are experts, artists. So, but it is actually not. It's for people who actually want to learn the skill, people who want to actually thrive in new markets, such as in new markets in the tech space. So to take it away, I'm going to actually get started with the slides. So I hope everybody's ready because this is going to be a different one. So first, we will start with who is for. So this is for everyone who doesn't want to code ever again, but still wants to be in the tech space and take part in the growing market. And then this is also for everyone looking for a career switch but doesn't know where to go. So, but if you stay till the end, we have a special package for you. We're gonna be giving away a special PDF that will help you immensely in your UI UX design career. So we get into the nitty-gritties. So the average salaries for a UI UX designer with education, of course, a diploma will get you 23,300. A bachelor's will get you 27,200, and a master's degree will get you 41,800 on average. But today we will be showing you, let's get the slide. But by the end of this webinar, we'll be showing you how you can become a web/app designer that earns 29,987 rands per month in under 5 months without a degree. Does that sound fantastic? I hope people can use the chat because I want to see some ones in the chat. All right, moving on. So here is our plan that we are going to go through and discuss today. So first, we want to talk about why companies are looking for people in this profession. So the demand for this type of designer is huge because everybody needs someone to make their products look and feel better, especially if those companies are trying to sell stuff to other people. And this is where we come in as designers. We have the skills to transform the product's user interface into something that is visually appealing and user-friendly. And whether it's a website, an app, or a digital platform, us as UI UX designers enhance the usability and aesthetic appeal of these websites and digital platforms. So what is your job as a UI UX designer? So first you have to understand your user. You have to identify and understand who your user is, and then you have to identify the user's challenges with the product. So how is the user struggling to actually use the product? And then we have to analyze other people who are successful so that we can see where we are going wrong, and then we apply the changes. It's easy, right? I hope people can actually use the chat because I want to see some ones in the chat telling me how easy this is. Of course.
Nigel, we have Nigel saying that this is very interesting in the chat.
We love it.
And I'll just be reading more in the chat when they say something.
All right. Thank you for that. Okay, so now we have to know what UI and UX is. These two are user-centered practices that focus on how the user feels and interacts with a product. So UX is short for user experience, and it is responsible for taking the user through the website and app in a way that is usable and enjoyable. This is the basics of UX. Then UI, which is something different. UI is user interaction, and it is responsible for adding elements that a user can use to interact with a website or an app. So, for example, a button or a label. These two are different, yet they work together to create an app experience that the user can go through. And you can see it in all the apps that you use on a daily basis. So as a UX designer, your job will be to find ways to enhance/improve the user's experience through understanding the behaviors and the user's experience through understanding their behaviors and patterns. And then as a UI designer, your job will be to implement the findings of the UX designer into a well-structured application and website. So now we come into the best part of the presentation, the UX and UI designer requirements in 2024. So we will be showing you how to be industry standard designer without being creative here at Melsoft Academy. So there are 3 secrets. We're now going to teach you the secret design skills that companies want but don't want to talk about. But they will pay you well if you have them. Once they see that you have these 3 skills, they won't hesitate paying you a salary like someone with a bachelor's degree because these skills are very valuable to the business. So the 3 secrets are how to use user-centered thinking to beat all the designers in the space with only 20 minutes of work. Yes, that's right, only 20 minutes. How to use
Wow.
other people's work to fuel your creativity, and then how the only software you need to be a high-level designer. So the reason people think design is hard is because they don't know their user. This is the actual number one reason. If you don't know who you are serving, you won't know how to serve them. So the first secret on how to use user-centered thinking to beat all other designers with 20 minutes of work, we first we first have to look at some methodology. So this is what I'm going to be showing you throughout this webinar. So usually when people want to research their users, they go about this by conducting surveys and interviews, and they spend weeks and weeks trying to collect a bit of information which might not be helpful. But at Mpilo Tech, I found a better way that allows you to get as much information as you need for your user, and you don't have to leave the comfort of your home. So we're first going to go into Amazon.com. We'll search the topic we are researching. So here is a book on AI. So it has to be a book because this is where people will share ideas and what they've learned from the product that they buy. And then we look for books that represent your topic. So you have to look for So the trick here is to look for books that have a lot of reviews, but still focus on the question you are trying to find the answer to. And then 3, we go into that product, we scroll all the way down into the comment section, and then we look at each comment. We read what everybody has shared in the comments, and then we categorize it. And this will help us build and identify a user persona that we can use, because people who come to the comments usually are positively passionate or negatively passionate. So the 5 stars are people who are positively passionate, who really loved the topic or the book that was represented, and they usually talk about the topic. People who give 1 star are usually people who really didn't enjoy it, and then you can learn a lot from both of these people. So this can help you create a custom user persona. It's easy, right?
Wow.
So who wants to
So I
start?
don't know. I don't know if this is easy. I don't know if this is easy.
Really?
Please, in the chat, just comment out if anyone has a question in the chat. I'm just trying to hear what you
I'd
think.
like to say that it's easier than learning code.
That is true. Learning code is the bits. That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah. Okay, do you
Yeah.
have one
And
in the chat?
Tabile is saying that it's easy. I totally agree. And Grace is
Exactly.
saying, super excited to learn more about UI UX. So
Ah,
it seems like people are hearing it. Alexis says simple but not easy. What does that mean? Please explain. What does that
simple but not
not
easy.
easy?
I
Okay.
mean, it
And
speaks for itself, eh?
speaks for itself. Yeah, that's true. And then Kamogelo is saying that's true. So I think we
Right,
understand. People understand.
right.
Tumelo is
Yeah, so
saying repeat again. Which part,
it's also
Tumelo? Repeat. Repeat which
also
part.
easier than going out, yeah. Going out and talking to people. This is easier because, yeah, not all of us are that social. All right,
That's true. That's true.
awesome. I'm happy people agree. So now we come to
Yeah.
secret number 2, is how to ethically steal like an artist. So I actually read this
Whoa.
book. I read this book
Okay.
and it inspired me, and a lot of things in this book also helped me in my UX career. So there are a lot of principles that this book teaches, but this is not the promotion of the book. It's just what I've learned from it. So you have to model success. This is one of the principles I've learned from the book. If you don't model success, you'll waste a lot of time. You'll waste a lot of time trying to figure things out and make a lot of mistakes that may not pay off at the end. So it's easier to see what's working, steal it like an artist, and then give it your own touch. I think people agree with this as well. Okay, so step one to this is to find the top players in the industry. You have to look at the top players and analyze what they are doing and how they have the user's attention. And then we come to step two, where we have to observe how the top players keep their attention. So what we're going to do here is to go through each page of the website and screenshot it to observe the layout. And then we come to step three, where we clone and model whatever we found on the website. So a plugin I use is screenshots to design. So this plugin allows you to screenshot to use whatever website you screenshotted, and you can edit the elements of those websites and add your own content like logos and colors, etc., etc. So you may be wondering what software we are using below, but we will get to that in the next slide. So secret number three, the only piece of software that you need as a high-level designer. So if you had to learn one platform that will propel your career as a UX designer, a UI designer, this will be Figma. I'm sure some people have heard of Figma.
I wasn't expecting that.
I love the enthusiasm. So some people have heard of Figma, a lot of people haven't. But you, as a designer, you need to learn how to use Figma. Figma is great because it is a prototyping tool that is free, and it will allow you to start making applications and building your portfolio right away. So all you need is an account and just start designing. That is Figma. And then we come to the question, are UI and UX designers in demand for 2024? This is what a lot of people ask me. A lot of people maybe who are skeptical ask if this career is not saturated because people think it might be easy, which it is, but it also isn't. So the simple but not easy is the right statement there. So here's a quick test. I want people to participate. We're going to go to the chat and see if you agree. So which one would you feel safer buying from? So I'm just going to give you a few seconds. I'm going to give you a few seconds to decide. 1 or 2 in the chat, which one would you feel safer buying from?
Kamogelo says 2, Alexis says 2, I say 2, Notolo says 2, Junaid
I'm
says
looking
2,
for the
Nadia
ones.
says 2,
Who
Buya says 2, Agent says 1. There's always that one person.
You can never trust someone.
Larry says 1. Yeah, number 1 looks like a scam website. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I agree with you, Grace.
Yeah, so you see how UX can affect the psychology. And this is actually a real site. This is not something I took from somewhere long time ago. If you actually Google, I don't know how to say it, but you actually see it. So you can actually buy these vehicles from. All right, so there are currently 1.8 billion websites that exist in the world and over 4 million downloadable apps on Android and Apple. And this is what 80% of these sites look like. So you can see our first example, and then we have a new one. So this is why UI and UX designers are in demand, because people have terrible websites and this affects their businesses. So the top 5 companies looking for designers, they are tech startups, they are e-commerce stores, they are agri-tech companies, so agricultural technology companies, they are health companies and fintech companies. And most of these companies are located in they're not just located in Joburg and Cape Town, but most of them come to these 2 places to actually start their companies. So yeah, people who want to get into design are going to be lucky, because especially if they live in these 2 places, they might have better advantage. So these are the people who are going to, if you do well, of course, these are the people who are going to pay you 29,987 Rand per month as a web or app designer.
And this is like just for one project. Like the
Sorry?
29,000 per month? 29,000 a month is just for one project that you've
This
been
is
working
for
on?
when you're employed. As a project, then that is separate. Then you can charge your own fees, and it could be way, way more.
It
Especially
could be more.
for,
Yeah.
yeah, especially for app layouts, it could be way, way more. So now we get
Okay.
to my story. How did I get here? So right now, I'm currently the lead designer the lead UX designer at Mpilo Technologies.
Hey.
And I wasn't always born with this. I was never born with this position. I worked and got here. So, what is that story? So, first, just like everyone in tech, I wanted to become a software developer, but this was mostly encouraged by my dad. So, for years and years and years, my dad told me that this is the best field, that this pays the most money, and this is where people are happy, and that this is where the heavens open up, etc., etc. And then I was obviously persuaded, and I wanted to become a software developer. And then by luck, I was found by Mpilo Tech. This was a long time ago. As you can see in the picture, we were found by Mpilo Tech, and they were doing training for young people on a software called Kony Visualizer, teaching them low code software development. So this training was mainly for UI. It was teaching us how to actually implement UI on a low code platform, and I was invited to be one of them. And I devoted all my Fridays every week for the year to attending and learning the UI aspect of Kony, because it was easy. But I still wanted to become a computer science and a software developer by going to university. But something changed. My school gave us an opportunity to take part in the university experience. So this is where we went to VEDS to experience what it was like to be a student. And I realized that I did not enjoy it at all. I realized that university wasn't for me, so when it was time to apply, I didn't apply, even though I could have studied there for free because of other
Wow.
reasons. Yeah. So after a few months of arguments with the parents, I reached out to Bibliotech to see if I could get a free internship. Then they took me as a paid intern, luckily, because I had already mastered their software. And then I was put part of a graduate program where everyone else was more qualified than me to be a software developer because they had university degrees, and I was the only one who knew the software. So I trained them. I trained them how to use Kony Visualizer, and I was added to the software development team. And after a couple of broken projects, because we were working with code, I was transferred to UI and UX, which is where I am today as a lead UX designer. So now I'm telling you this story just to show you that even in your 20s, you could have a great career and work with great people. So these are other people that I work with that have a similar story. On the left is Caleb. I work with him. He was also an expert on Kony Visualizer, and he was hired as a specialist, and then after a few years of working at Bibliotech, he decided to put himself through university because of the money he was getting. So he decided to put himself through university to become a iOS developer because that's what he wanted to do. And then Bonnie, she was a waitress at Proud Mary. She was hired just as part of the graduate program. I taught her how to do design on Figma and on Voltamix, and now she's one of the biggest.
Wow.
She's in one of the biggest projects in the company. So why am I telling you all of this? To show you that there is great advantage in having specialized skill, knowing how to design, especially for UX and UI, will help you greatly in your career. I was selected to become part of a team where everyone except me had a university degree, and I find that astonishing and surprising because I was literally the youngest one there. I had no experience, but they still took me in because I had actually put in the time to learn the software the company is using. So, what does this mean for you? I don't want to focus too much on myself. We want to help you, the students, the future students of Melsoft Academy, learn this. So, you are going to learn how to dominate the market of UI and UX designers. so that companies around Joburg and the rest of South Africa are begging to hire you. So these days we live in an attention economy, and if you can increase the attention of a business, they will throw money at you because you will help them make more money. So increasing a business user experience, so better user experience equals to more attention, and more attention equals to more money, and this is why they will pay you. And I can assure you that all of you, even if you've never designed anything in your life, you can also do that because design is a skill. So who is this for? This is for people who know nothing about design, people who want to switch from software development into another career field but not sure, people who feel like they don't know where to start in their tech career. I highly recommend starting in design. This is for people who've always wanted to be web developers / designers. This is for people who always wanted to be UI and UX designers, and people who want to be marketing strategists, because this actually applies in marketing. You'll be surprised to learn how. And then also for people who want to be future freelancers, so people who love their time and want to do small projects that pay them just enough so that they can live their lives freely. I feel like that
Phila,
sounds...
I'm just gonna catch you there quickly and
Right.
ask a question. First, I'll ask my question. Then, Tabila, I see your question. I'll ask. So, for people who are aspiring to become like software developers, like work with the code, would you say that it would be easier for them to enter through the UI UX path and then pivot into software dev? Like, would you say it's an
Definitely.
easier like landing, like a softer landing, as compared to just getting into coding?
Definitely. So the thing is with UI and UX, it teaches you a lot of logic, especially in terms of the user, how the user thinks, what they want to see here and there. So if you learn how to design something that the user can find appealing, and then you want to, I don't know, I don't have an example now, but if you want to switch into coding, I feel like UI and UX will give you the fundamentals you need to understand how the markets work. And then once you start learning software development, and then you want to build your own projects on the side, you know what type of projects to build and how people will respond to them, because you understand how the people think.
You already
I don't
understand.
know if that
Wow.
makes
That's
sense.
that's a good response. Thank you so
Right.
much. And then the second question on the chat from Tabile
Yeah.
is, did she have a university degree for the graduate program? So I'm assuming she's talking about
Oh,
the,
she's Bonnie. I think she's talking about
yeah,
Bonnie. No,
yeah.
Bonnie was a waitress at Proud Mary, so she had no university degree at all. She
Wow.
had high school just like me.
Wow.
Yeah, and
Okay.
she's
And
way
then
old. Yeah, and she still
wow.
could
And
learn it.
how
Yeah,
that's good. And then
yeah,
Kamogelo is asking, can UX UI design be incorporated into front end developing? Definitely.
definitely. Yeah, it's
Definitely. Yeah.
basically they basically work hand in hand. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So
Now you can go ahead. You can continue. Yeah. Thank you.
lovely, lovely. So these are, who is this for? We've just covered that. Who is the course designed for? So just to go through it one more time, our course is designed for people who are complete design beginners. Even if you've never designed anything in your life, our curriculum will guide you step by step, and will also hold your hand, because I will be there every step of the way to ensure that you gain the essential skills you need for a successful career in UI UX design. So the course also includes other things such as the Figma Zero to Hero Bootcamp. So Figma is an essential tool you need in building your portfolio, because Figma allows you to actually get started. It's not like other programs where you have to actually pay for the basically the same software. So yeah, so we will teach you everything you need to know from zero until you understand every aspect of Figma. So we go through how we go through why am I forgetting my program? I literally just made this. Yeah, so we go through how to actually use Figma. So we go through each and every button that you will
To
click
make your
and how
neck
you
good,
use
bro.
Sorry about that.
no stress, no stress.
Hold on. I'm gonna ask in the chat if we can mute. All right, there we go. Thank you so
There
much.
we go.
Right,
All
you can
right.
continue. Sorry.
Yeah, so as I said, we'll go in the Figma Bootcamp, we go through literally every button and teach you what it is for and how we would use it in each scenario. We teach you how to design screens from scratch. We teach you how to, we actually teach you how to learn design using Figma. So it is going to be very exciting, especially for the people who are going to join us in the thing, in the program. They will see that there's a lot that we learn, and that design is actually something everybody can learn if they actually apply themselves. Then in the course, we also have a special guest. So this is someone who is a professional. He's actually a business owner, I know, and me and him, he's a friend of mine, but he's mostly a mentor. He he taught me a lot about Figma, how to use it, how to apply it in corporate sense, how to actually present in front of other business people, all of that. And we got him to actually sit down with us, explain his story, and explain how he actually designs from scratch. He explains how to actually um, he, he explains how to design from scratch. He explains how to think about designs, especially designs are very beautiful. I wish I could show you. I don't have them here, but his designs are very beautiful, and he teaches you how to actually apply all of those designs onto your portfolios. And it's a very interesting conversation, and I think everybody needs to actually hear about it.
Yeah, hold on. We have someone with a baby who's
Wow.
crying. We appreciate that you're watching this with your
We
baby.
love it.
Hopefully your baby can get involved in the UI UX too.
Officially the
Yeah.
youngest. The
That's the
youngest.
youngest person watching this for sure. Yeah. All
Yeah.
right, lovely.
And
You can
then
continue. Thank you so much for
This
that.
what?
for the last thing, oh, okay. Yeah, and then for the last thing, we teach you best company practices. This is standard Melsoft Academy. So Melsoft Academy will help you with your job readiness. So usually when people get a new job in tech, they'll have training procedures like Agile, and they don't know these training procedures because they were not taught in university, of course. But we want you to be 2 steps ahead. So in the course, we actually have learning procedures and practices that are used in the top companies in SA. We teach you the corporate style of design, covering everything from concept to execution, and how to apply this to practices like Agile, ensuring that you are prepared in according to industry standards. Then yeah, that is your cue, Mr. Loris.
All right, awesome. Well, before we get into my queue, I just wanna have another question.
Right.
So, in terms of like the company practices, what you're saying, are these things that you would say like you've learned from your hands-on experience at
Yeah,
Bilotech?
yeah. This is literally me giving you everything I've learned from Mpilo Tech from day one to right now. So, the agile practice was something I struggled with a lot because it was new to me, and everyone else in the company treated it as if it was standard practice. And when I would ask questions, they'd say, "Oh, it's this, obviously." And after a few weeks, it took some time to learn, but after a few weeks, you got the hang of it. So the basics of agile is that everything we let's just say we are creating our landing page. So the landing page has an image and a copy. So the copy would be something people would read if they come to your landing page. For that to happen
Wow.
in agile, you have to have a planning session on which image to use, how big is the image, and then you go apply it. And after 2 weeks, you come back, and then only now we start working on what to put in the copy, and it's just like that, step by step, ensuring that everything is working properly. Yeah.
Wow. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Phila. Thank you so very much for that presentation. That was fantastic. And I'm just gonna like beat down a little bit on the points that you gave us here. The first one is you literally we had someone working as a waitress in Proud Mary
Yeah.
who's just serving drinks, nothing too crazy, nothing too crazy, who ended up working at a company like Mpilo that is based in Rosebank and has thousands
And her story
clients,
is
which
actually,
is
yeah,
that's
and her
that's
story is actually
incredible.
cool. Yeah, because the only reason our CEO found her is because she was actually a very nice person. Like she was a good waitress, of course, but she stepped up. She went over and beyond to serve the people she was serving, and our CEO actually loved that and decided to
Wow.
give her a chance into to try change her career trajectory. Yeah.
Wow. All right, that's fantastic. So now I'm just gonna get into the details of the course itself, the little nitty gritties. I'm gonna address Kamogelo's question first. By the end of the program, do you receive a certificate of completion? And the answer to that is 100% yes. So you're going to be receiving a certificate of completion that is double barreled, actually. So it's backed by two institutions. You're going to be receiving a certificate that's backed by us, Melsoft Academy, as well as Mpilo Tech. And from here, what I would say is more important than the certificate of completion is you are going to be able to actually have the skill
Yeah.
of a UI UX designer. And I just want to like hone this a little down because I mean, from what I'm seeing in the tech industry, certificates are not all that. Like
Yeah.
you
Yeah. No.
literally, we're hearing Pila's story is saying he didn't have a degree. He didn't even go to university.
I didn't
This
have
is
a
a sub
certificate.
25-year-old who is now team lead, you know? That's just how the tech industry is. And so with things like this where you come here and you learn for 6 months, best believe that you're going to have the capacity to stand your ground when you're sitting around other
Right.
people. And then, so I just want to ask from Junaid, who says, how do you balance user feedback with business requirements and technical constraints? I think that question is for you, Mr. Phila.
So, how do you balance user feedback with business requirements and technical constraints? So, this will depend. So, user feedback usually they will tell you. Let's just say, I'm trying to think of a quick example. Uh, I can't think of an example, but usually when there is user feedback, if you ask someone why don't you like using Instagram, and they tell you it's because it takes too long to load. It My pictures don't show up in time when I post them. Things like that. You take those things down. You come to either you usually come to the software developers or the strategists. You look at how we can fix Instagram and allow it to load quicker, and then we try implement that. And then maybe if we don't have an internal solution, we look to other companies, maybe like Twitter. What's the alternative to Instagram? Things like that. Yeah,
Snapchat?
we look at that and how are they implement? Yeah, Snapchat. How are they implementing the load fast feature? How are they
Wow.
implementing the load fast feature to actually make the app better? I think that does that make sense?
That does make sense, and you did get
Right.
into a bit of a technical jargon, though. I hope that everyone in the chat understood that. And we have another question. Oh, we have another question from Grace, who says, "Can you briefly explain what UX researchers do?"
So UX researchers are basically what we covered. So UX researchers go out. We might have a company like Mpilo Tech. Mpilo Tech has to have a sort of client. So UX researchers look at the clients, the possible clients for Mpilo Tech, how they move, what they want to see, what problems are they facing, how they want those problems to be solved, in what way can we solve those problems that is easy, that makes things easier for them. So user researchers, UX researchers look at the clients or the customers or the potential clients or customers and see how we can solve their problems. They basically problem solvers, basically, yeah.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Thank you
Right.
so much for
I
that.
hope that makes
And
sense.
then another, I do hope that did make sense to me. I hope to Grace as well. And then
Yeah.
another question that we have from Mr. Junaid is, how do you ensure that your designs are accessible to users with disabilities? Wow, that's a good question.
That is a good question. So that also you have to look at your market. So us in the banking, we are mainly in the banking industry. Most of our users have to be high level people. So people, well, in the banking industry, we serving entrepreneurs. So those people have to be high level and know how to actually use a computer device. But I'm trying to think of a disability. Um, you
So let's say,
if
for example, okay, yeah, if you have an example, go ahead.
Okay, I guess for people who are colorblind, using more
Yeah.
contrasting colors would help you. Using more contrasting colors will help them see the designs better. Trying to think of more examples, but
I think
for
it's
that,
like a
I can
case
only
by
think for
case.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. From what I'm
I
seeing.
can't
So
answer if
so I
somebody
feel
has
like
yeah.
yeah, I feel like it's one of those things where if you are a UI UX designer and depending on the goal of the application or the website that you're making, these are things that you do end up taking into consideration, if
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
wrong.
So you have to
Yeah.
actually analyze and usually your user isn't just like one person. It isn't just like Loris who's using our app. There's Loris and people who are similar to Loris, people who are similar to Loris but are colorblind, people who are similar to Loris uh, but yeah, I can't think of other actual disabilities that people like. As long as you can actually see the web page, I think you're fine. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. And then, oh, okay, this one might be a bit of a long one, but I hope you can take it. So Tumelo
Right.
says, what do UI UX designers do on a day-to-day basis? And then he goes on to say, Oshi, take me through the experience on a normal workday. Please try to do this in 30 seconds
In
because
30
you did
seconds.
go
Okay.
through this at the beginning.
All right. So I will tell you what I do. So another thing, I feel like people may be a bit confused about this. So UI and UX designers are two separate professions. So UI designer is one person on their own and UX designer is another person. And as we said, that a UI designer actually looks at the implementation of what the UX person finds. So the UX person has to go out and research the client, talk to them, understand the problems they need to solve, and try to solve it in a way that is usable and enjoyable. And then to describe the day to day, it depends. If we are currently starting a project, it's gonna be meetings and meetings and meetings. And then usually if we actually do the work, we sit down, we have a briefing from the UX designers. Well, the UI designers have a briefing from the UX and show them the plan on what they want. The UI designers implement that plan, and then we come back to reassess, and then same thing until the product is done. I hope that answered your
Wow.
question.
So it sounds like there's a lot of collaboration, and I'm
Yeah.
just gonna use this as a perfect little segue into me just telling you about this course and how we designed it. And so the reason we're doing this is because we are building a pool of talent for the companies that are in our contacts. And as of right now, we've received more than 5 companies who have come to Melsoft Academy to us that are looking for people to start in design. So in UI and UX, it's something that they're continuously asking. And they want people that are well trained to be able to do this. And since we couldn't fully supply them with students who were already doing this, we decided to actually create this boot camp, to create this whole course and train people and prepare them to become, dedicated to learning something that's in a new career field. So on this chat right now, we have about 20, 25 people on this chat, right? And 15 of you right now would be having good paying jobs from the
In
field
three
from
months.
absolutely
In three
doing
months.
nothing.
Yeah.
And it's not impossible. It's not crazy. I mean, we have someone who was working in Proud Mary. Proud Mary is a restaurant,
Yeah.
and they ended up being on such a big team. And so we're training people who are complete beginners and having them develop design thinking, having them think about the color spacing, start with the Figma training. And after this, you will end up being a completely certified and job ready UI developer, UI designer, or UX designer. And I'm just going to say a little bit about the course itself, what's in the course. From what I understood, the level of preparation that you're going to get that makes it very similar to a working environment is insane. So what Mr. Phila was saying about how they have these meetings before a project, you're going to be working on a lot of projects. If you know Melsoft Academy, we're very much projects based. So
Yeah.
we teach you what you're actually going to be doing on the job. And so at some point, you will have that skill stamped in permanently in your brain. But this will require your effort. And
Yeah, and
so
do group projects. So there's a lot of group projects just to train that agile aspect of design.
That exactly. That's what I'm saying. And so this course is going to be has been launched now, and the very first cohort that we're going to be receiving will be starting in July. It's going to be slightly less expensive than all the other courses that we offer because we think that the 25 of you being on this webinar means that you have a little edge and you want it a bit more than everyone else. And so this course is going to be completely less. Kaya is asking how much is the course. Let me put you out of your misery, Kaya. It's going to be ballparking around 20,000 Rand for is it 3 month or 6 month?
It's the three
For the
month. Yeah.
3 month for the whole 3 months. And
Yeah.
from what I understand, we also have you can do a monthly payment or you could also do a payment plan if you feel like that's too much for you to give one time. But don't let the price tag fool you because
Exactly.
when I'm thinking about this and looking at this, for for the amount of demand that is there, the only investment that you're putting on top of the 20K
Yeah.
is your work. Because when I think about it and I calculate in a year, that could easily become 369,000. And so
And
just
imagine, and sorry to cut you off, but a lot of
go
the
ahead, go
15
ahead.
of those people by 3 months from now could literally just they literally just got the course for free because they'll actually be paid the salary that is more than the course costs. So
In
15
three
of you
months.
will be that lucky that in
In three
3 months from
months.
now you could
And that's
have
just
a
the
job in
15
India.
that we need immediately right
Yeah,
now. What about
especially also here in Mpilo Tech, we actually
yeah,
genuinely looking for more
do
designers
need
because
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So it's
yo,
it's a it's a real gap, and the fact that you're here, I would say like when Bitcoin came out, there were those few people who were there to latch on. This is you right now. If you're watching this is you. You've hit your Bitcoin moment. Don't miss it. And so the link to apply has been sent in the chat. I'm gonna answer one more question. I'm going to ask Mr. Pila to answer one more question from Junaid, and then
okay.
we're going to close off. So the question is, what are the best practices for conducting usability testing? That sounds technical. I
It
don't
is.
I don't
Okay, yeah, I haven't done a lot of because we have our own testers here in Mpilo Tech, but
Okay.
what are the best practices for conducting usability testing? So I'll just tell you what I do. I don't know about everyone else, and I'm not sure about the actual procedures for the testers. But what I do, I implement just like Agile. I implement a change, and I run my software to make sure that the change works. And then there's any if there's any bugs, I'd say. Yeah, if there's any bugs or if there's anything that doesn't work as my design, I'll go back, try change it, and then if I feel like everything is perfect, then I'll start sampling it to people who've never seen it before and see how they use it and see what they see, like the different aspects that they may find that I didn't see. But yeah, the thing is, I haven't
Okay.
tested. I'm not a user tester,
You're
so
not a
I
user
haven't
tester.
gone through
Yeah,
the actual methodology.
that's
Should we
completely
include that in the
fine.
course as
Well,
well?
maybe we should, but I don't know. It seems a
It's a
bit out
great
of
question.
scope. It seems a bit
It's
out of
yeah,
scope.
yeah, it's
But
a great
yeah,
question.
so I'm just gonna say thank you so very much, Mr. Pila, for coming here and just giving us this knowledge for free. And
Thank you for
honestly,
having me. Yeah.
I just want to say in front of everyone that I want to give you your flowers right now. As a sub 25-year-old who is currently UI UX lead at Mpilo Tech, you've gone a marvelous way. And I
Mhm.
personally, I'm very proud of the work that you've done so far. And I pray that you just keep on doing it. You just keep on inspiring us to do this because for such a young person who is at such a big place, I would say that if I had the opportunity, I wanna hang out with you every day and get to know the secret. But please continue doing the work that you're doing because it's inspiring a lot of young South
Yeah,
Africans and
yeah.
just
Thank you.
human beings in
Thank you so
general.
much.
And you deserve it. Congratulations for that. That's
All right.
fantastic. That's a good story that you gave us there.
Yeah.
And
Thank you so much for
to
allowing me.
every pleasure. And to everyone who was watching, thank you so much for joining us. Melsoft Academy UI UX Bootcamp is officially out. If you have any doubts, if you have any questions, please feel free and reach out on the Melsoft Academy website. Look at the reviews that we have. We know what we're doing. We're in this business. We've been in this business for a bit now. We're young, and you're going to be learning the newest technologies that are out there because we're young. And so it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much to everyone who was watching. And hopefully you come and you join us for the next webinar that we will have, or we'll see you in the course. Thank you so
Yeah,
much. Bye.
thank you, everyone. And I'm also excited to see who are the 15 people who actually make it to the end and actually
Let's
change their
see.
lives for good. So, yeah.
Let's see.
All right. Thank you
Fantastic.
so
Thank you
much,
so
man.
much. All right. Bye bye, everybody. Thank you so much. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Cheers.